All right, how you doing today? Today we're talking about vocal plugins. I have lots of videos on vocal plugins. In fact, in my last video, the top 8 vocal chain plugins for beginners, Dusky Dog 419 said, I'm surprised VocalShaper by W.A production isn't on this list. So I never heard of that plugin. So today I got it. I'm gonna check it out. There's actually 3 really cool features that aren't on any of those other plugins that I mentioned in my last video. We're gonna check those out. And by the way, this one's like under $40, very inexpensive plugin. So let's check these things out. Let's go. Okay, so this is the VocalShaper plugin and very simple layout. We've got a bunch of controls here. And the first thing I'm going to do is listen to the vocal track before we add anything on. There's a bypass switch down here as well. So this is the vocal.
We wrestled for reality as you twisted facts.
Turn it on.
We wrestled for reality as you twisted facts.
Now there's this little gauge right here that says minimum, where I'm going to boost up the input volume here because it's going under the minimum.
We wrestled for reality as you twisted facts. Nothing left to see here, there's no going back.
Okay, so now we have this leveler here. Now this is a super cool part, one of the features that's not in the other vocal plugins that I've been demoing lately. This is kind of like, it levels out the vocals, so like a compressor, but without the compressor effect. It brings down the high parts, brings up the low parts. It's kind of like the Waves vocal rider or the Xvox X rider, I think it's called, from the X Neuro Audio. And basically, if you look at this quick here, I bounced down a version of doing that. So what we're doing here on the top, we have the original. On the bottom, we have the one that's leveled. So you can see like the waveform here versus this one, where it's kind of flattened out, controlling those dynamics. Again, right here where it gets loud, and the original one, it brings it down here, and then here where it's a little bit lower, it brings those ones up, as you can see here. So that's what the leveler does, and that's a very important part of vocal production. A lot of guys do it manually, you know, going in and chopping up parts and stuff like that, and chopping out this word, bringing it down. But this does that for you, and it works pretty well, as you can see in the waveforms here. Again, Waves vocal riders, another plugin that does that kind of thing, but this one is built into here. So anyways, the next part is the cleaner, sort of like a noise gate. It takes out like headphone bleed and stuff like that, but it also could take out breaths as well. That's what that does. There's no headphone bleed in this, but you know, that's what you do with this. Then we have the DeMudder, well, the compressor, I'm sorry, the compressor over here. You can see how it's working here. Now I have the level up, leveling things out a bit.
We wrestled for reality as you twisted facts. Nothing left to see here, there's no going back. All that pushing and a shove inside.
So we could add the compressor in, and the leveler is making the compressor not work as hard. So that's like kind of like stacking different leveling, whatever, instances of your vocal parts. So, and they have the gauge here to see where it's compressing. So now the DeMud is the lower frequencies. It's a resonancy fixer as well. This vocal is pretty clean on the low end here, but I think it's 60 hertz to 300 hertz, I believe. And so it's not just an EQ, it's also a some of those resonant frequencies that can build up.
We wrestled for reality as you twisted facts. Nothing left to see here, there's no going back.
So this one sounds pretty good the way it is. And then we have the air, which is the higher end of the EQ spectrum.
We wrestled for reality as you twisted facts.
Kind of adds in that crispiness to the high end. And then the de-esser here, it's more than just a de-esser, because you can actually put the S's back in if you have a vocal track that's been over de-essed. We have this listen button here. So that sounds awful by itself. Obviously, we bring that down. So we're taking it out, or we could emphasize it. In this case, I don't want to do that, so let's bring this down. Okay, we're getting rid of that. We can turn the listen button off. And then we have our tone section. So this EQ is a kind of a subtler EQ. If you have other problems with your vocal, you might want to clean them up ahead of time. But so this, let's just go through some dials here. With the cut.
We wrestled for reality as you twisted facts. Nothing left to see here, there's no going back. All that pushing and a shoving, sabotaging the trust. Only truth left is there's no more us. No more. No more. No more.
And if we double click on it, we could type in stuff like that, as you just saw there. So now the heat, this is our saturation. We're gonna just very subtle, not crazy.
We wrestled for reality as you twisted facts. Nothing left to see here, there's no going back.
So we could dial some of that in if needed. And then we have our depth. The depth is based on a classic LA opto compressor, default state, impulse response, as they say.
We wrestled for reality as you twisted facts. Nothing left to see here, there's no going back.
And then we have a stereo spread.
We wrestled for reality as you twisted facts. Nothing left to see here.
So a lot of really cool features, and some of the other cool features is we could A/B, we have undo, and then we have reset button, and we have the auto gain down here. So when you're making all your adjustments, you play the sound for 5 seconds. I just turned it off.
We wrestled for reality.
So there we go. I brought it back down, off.
We wrestled for reality.
Turn it back on.
We wrestled for reality as you twisted facts. No. We wrestled for reality as you twisted facts. Nothing left to see here, there's no going back. All that pushing and a
So I just brought the volume back down to where it was so I could make my adjustments that way, which I should have did before I started doing this. And now we have our output. So this will probably still be low in the mix, bypassed.
We wrestled for reality as you twisted facts. Nothing left to see here, there's no going back. All that pushing and a shoving, sabotaging the trust.
Now, there's no delays or reverbs built into this plugin, so I'm just going to throw on a simple delay here built into Logic.
We wrestled for reality as you twisted facts.
Or you could use your reverbs of any sort.
We wrestled for reality as you twisted facts. Nothing left to see here, there's no going back. All that pushing and a shoving, sabotage.
Let's head over to the background vocals real quick. And we'll spread them out. Well, let's check out some of the presets. I actually have the preset background vocals on the background vocals here.
Wrestle for reality as you twisted facts. Nothing left to see here, there's no going back. All the pushing and a shoving, sabotaging the trust. Only truth left is wrestle for reality as you twisted facts. Nothing left.
Same thing with your delays and reverbs. Just throw a verb on there.
We wrestled for reality as you twisted facts.
Now I have the vocals kind of loud in the mix here for this demo purpose. So just turn that off real quick.
We wrestled for reality as you twisted facts. Nothing left to see here.
In the last feature down here, we have the limiter. So that just, limits the spikes as well. So you have all kind of ways to level out your vocal. It's called the vocal shaper. So that's what we're doing here. We're shaping the vocal, if you will. So very cool plugin. Great for beginners, great for professionals as well, depending on what you want to do with it. Very easy to use. Set your input, set your level, do a little cleaning if you need to, do some compression. If you need to DeMud, add your air frequencies in, do a little EQ adjustments if you want to add in some saturation, so on and so forth. Very quick to use. Let me know what you think. That is all for now. I will talk to you soon. Check out my other videos here. I have a playlist of my top vocal chain plugins and stuff like that, and they'll put some other videos floating around the screen here. Or if you're watching on Twitter or X or any other platform, they'll be in the description. All right, talk to you soon.